Hey, it's Brock here with Rock Hill Farms, and today we're going to make a little bit different type of video than I normally make. And that's because I spent today at Career Day at a local middle school talking to the students about what it means to be a YouTuber as a career. And I didn't want to walk in unprepared, so I spent a lot of time thinking about this, and I wrote out all of the positives and negatives to doing this for a living. And I really gave it a lot of thought. And then when I arrived at the school, the faculty told me that they had a police officer and a doctor and a nurse and a conservation agent, and I believe there was a lawyer there. There were actually 12 different professions, and they said that the YouTuber section of that basically filled up faster than anything else. That's what these kids are really excited about the prospect of. And it really has me thinking about whether it's a good career path to pursue, especially for these young kids. So today I'm going to kind of give you guys the same speech that I gave the students, but I'll update it just a little bit to the fact you're a different audience. But I was also really thinking about the number of messages I get from guys my age or anywhere from, in their 20s up into their 60s that say they want to start a YouTube channel. And I really think this applies exactly the same, whether you are 7 or 17 or 72. So if you've got that kid that still lives in your basement and only wants to play video games and they said they're going to make it as a YouTuber, tell them to watch too. So basically right now, I'm going to give you the same script I gave them, and then at the end, I'm going to talk about money, which I didn't really do with the kids. Hi, my name's Brock, and I post videos to social media for a living. That includes YouTube, Facebook, and TikTok. Now, when I tell most people, especially older people, that that's what I do, they don't really understand how it works or how I make money. So that's what I want to explain to you today. My job is really fairly simple. I make videos and I post them, and if people watch them, I get paid. I love my job, but it's still a lot of work. And like most things in life, the harder you work at it, the more likely you are to succeed. One point I want to make is that you don't need to be a perfect person or try to come across as perfect on camera. As a matter of fact, the most important thing you can do is be yourself, and none of us are perfect. So there is nothing about me that would make you think I would be successful as a content creator. But somehow I've got 175,000 subscribers across the 3 largest platforms, and my videos have been viewed close to 100 million times. I didn't start posting videos until I was 40 years old. I don't dance, and I'm not trendy. I'm not funny, and I'm not outgoing. I actually get really nervous just talking to people. So basically, I'm not any of the things you would expect a YouTuber to be. I'm just a regular person, and I share my life through video, and apparently, people enjoy watching it. I made a list of what I would consider to be the 5 best things about being a YouTuber, and then I made a list of the 5 worst things. And I realized those 2 lists are almost the same, so we're going to go through them at the same time. The first thing I love about being a YouTuber is that I set my own hours. I work when I want, on what I want, for how long I want. And that sounds great. But this is a competitive business. And I feel like to win, I am not super talented. So to win, I need to work harder than everyone else. So setting my own hours for me pretty much means that I'm working on the job of producing videos from the time I wake up to the time I go to bed 7 days a week. Now a lot of jobs, most jobs, require a lot of hard work. So this isn't something special, but it is something to keep in mind. My second thing I love about being a YouTuber is that I get to be creative. Every day is a new video and a new story to tell. That creative process is fun. That's also the second negative, that I have to be creative. And some days you just don't feel like it. Some days you don't feel like making a video at all. But with your regular job, you'll have days where you feel like not going, and you've got to push through that. The third thing that I love about being a YouTuber is that the amount of money I make is completely within my control. With a lot of jobs, the amount you're paid is fairly well set by what the job is, and there's not much you can do about it. With YouTube or Facebook or TikTok, the better your videos are, the more money you make. The negative to number 3 is I'm not guaranteed to make any money at all. If no one watches my videos tomorrow, I don't get paid. The fourth thing I love about being a YouTuber is making new friends. There are a lot of people who watch these videos every day and leave comments every day, and I feel like I know those people personally, and they see me, so a lot of them really feel like they know me as well. And that is making new friends. On top of that, most of my best friends are other YouTubers because we're all going through the same thing in life at the same time to a certain extent, and that kind of develops a friendship or a bond there. So a lot of my best friends are YouTubers. Number 4 is also a negative because we have so much interaction with so many people. You have to be aware that not everyone on the internet is your friend. And if you share your life on social media, people are going to say mean things to you that are hurtful and not fair. And I'm sure you guys have experienced that in the rest of your life. It's just part of life, but it's magnified when your videos are seen thousands, hundreds of thousands, or millions of times. The amount of negativity you get is magnified. And it's important that we don't let what other people say about us affect what we think about ourselves. Because as long as you're being yourself and you're doing your best, that has to be good enough. Number 5 thing I love about YouTube is there are no formal requirements to start. You don't have to have a certain degree or certification. You don't have to be selected through a hiring process. You can just make a video. And if it's good, you will win. The number 5 negative thing is there are no formal requirements to start. What that means is anybody can do it and everybody can do it. The result of that is that it is a very crowded market. Anything that you want to make a video about, someone else has already made that video. And to win, you need to make that video better than they did. And the biggest key to that is really just being yourself. Bottom line for my positives and negatives is, the big positive for me is I enjoy making videos. If you make some videos and you don't enjoy it, it may not be the best fit for you. Up to now, we've kind of been generalizing about what it's like to be a YouTuber, but now let's look at my everyday life. And I post a video every morning at 7 a.m. I wake up every morning about 7 a.m. I don't set an alarm. Sometimes it's a little earlier, sometimes a little later. But in general, I wake up around the time my video is posting. And what that means is, as soon as I wake up, I have a new piece of content that's been given to the world. And they are reacting to it. And that might be positive or negative. And I start my day by doing an audit of that video. That means I'm checking to make sure I didn't misspell the title, that I didn't misspell anything in the description, and if I was supposed to include links, I'm checking to see if those links are there. Then I add cards and end screens, which are things people can click on to see more videos. And I make sure that my videos have ads placed in them the way they are supposed to. And that's how I start, is just make sure I didn't mess up yesterday. Then I watch my own video, once again looking for mistakes, but also time has passed and I've slept, and now I'm watching it with a fresh perspective. Is this a good video? What will someone think seeing this for the first time? And as I watch it, I add a pinned comment, and that comment is giving some kind of information or direction of something I want the viewer to do. Often that is just suggesting, here's another video you might want to watch. Sometimes it's linking people to a product that I showed in the video. So once that's done, and I feel good about yesterday's video, I try to answer a bunch of comments and interact with the audience, because that's so important with this. And I don't have time throughout my day to answer every comment. I just get to the ones that I happen to catch most of the time. Now, I've finished with yesterday's video. Now it's time for today's video. And I normally have a list of potential topics that I could make a video about. But I don't know what I'm going to do that day. Very rarely do I wake up in the morning knowing what I'm going to record that day. But I take my list of ideas and I cross-reference it by what my day looks like. How much time do I have today? Is there anything else important going on? Do my kids have a ball game? Something like that I have to do. And then I look at the weather. So obviously, if I'm supposed to be mowing the yard in a video, it's not going to work very well if it's raining. So I cross-reference my ideas versus my day, and I pick a topic. At this point, I start doing research. And I told the kids that this research is kind of like doing a book report. I need to study what I'm working on. And I've probably already done research if this is even in my idea for a topic. But yesterday, my video was about putting this canopy on this mower and these tool racks on this mower. So I needed to know everything that I could possibly know about the canopy and the tool racks. So I started off on the manufacturer's website. I read all the information I could find. I did Google searches on best canopies, positives and negatives to having a canopy on a mower. Just did some basic research. And then I started finding out what type of video do I want to make. Do I want this video to be long or short, informational or funny? And the way I decide that is I watch every video I can find related to the same products from other channels. So I spend 30 minutes to an hour watching the competition's videos. Because if I want people to watch my video about a canopy, it needs to be at least as interesting as everybody else's canopy video. And in this case, I figure someone looking for this wants the information, and that's it. So I intentionally made this video about these products short, because I thought a person who watches that video probably was wanting information. So I made a short informational video. But sometimes I make a long video and I tell jokes. And that is what it is. So now I've got a video topic picked out, but I need to decide where to film it. Sometimes that's set by the project and sometimes it's not. Today I decided that this video would look nice if I had green grass around me. And I'd sit on a piece of equipment with a nice comfortable seat. And I wanted to do it when the sun wasn't in my face. And I had an obligation to go to the school. So I planned out my day that I was going to film this video in the evening sitting right here. So now I've done several hours of work. And working in factories my whole life, it doesn't feel like work. But it is, in the same way that if you answer phones for a living in an office, that's work. Deciding what to make a video about, researching a topic, that is doing my job. So at this point I've worked several hours, but I haven't recorded anything. Now I start the recording process, and my job is to film what I'm doing in the best or most interesting way. So if I set the camera in one spot, that's going to get boring in a hurry. So I try to move the camera a lot, and sometimes I use two cameras. Now I use a DSLR camera with a nice zoom lens on a tripod with a nice shotgun microphone with a fuzzy thing on the microphone called a dead cat. And that dead cat is there to reduce wind noise. Because if people can't hear what you're saying, they're not going to watch very long. It's actually windy right now. So I've got that camera set up. And then I've got a second camera here that I clip to my tripod. I generally use this GoPro right here with this clip. But sometimes I'll put a magnet on it or something like that. But that's used for anything that's moving or hard to reach spaces. So I can put this on right here and get a shot of my hands on the handle the ground moving, the grass shoot, and that's a good shot for mowing. So now I'm going to do the work that I'm doing in the video, film it all as much as I can. If it's a big project, it may take all day to film it from here. And I do whatever I need to do, and once the filming is done, I'll stop and take a mental break from my videos. I may need to go get dinner or spend some time with the kids, maybe watch a ball game, whatever the case may be. In the evening, afternoon and evenings, I take a break, relax from it a little bit, and then I start the second half of making that day's video. And that is turning video clips into an actual video. So I probably have recorded somewhere between 30 minutes and 4 hours of footage. And a lot of it doesn't belong in the finished 10 to 15 minute video. So I download all that footage onto my computer. I go through and adjust color and lighting so that you can clearly see me and it feels fun and vibrant, ideally. Then I adjust the audio so that you can clearly tell what I'm saying, and start removing anything that's unnecessary or anytime I repeat myself or say and try to make it the best video I can. Then, when I've told a story and had it chopped down, I like to take 2 or 3 moments that were the most interesting from the video, somewhere in the range of 15 to 30 seconds, and put those at the beginning as a teaser for the fact that later on these interesting things will happen, so you should stick around and see them. Because it's important that the viewer who starts your video watches a large percentage of it, because that's how YouTube determines if people like your videos. So I often move those clips to the front. Now sometimes those clips also get posted as a YouTube short, a Facebook reel, and a TikTok video, but I don't always use those. Sometimes my short form content like that is taken through a whole separate editing process where I try to tell this long story in an even shorter format. Once I've got a video created, the next thing I do is think about, why would anyone watch this? If you really think about it, people are incredibly busy. They've got jobs and kids and families and responsibilities. They've also got hobbies. They've got work that needs to be done at their own houses. People are incredibly busy without ever watching any type of video. But then if they do want to watch a video, they've got regular television and services like Netflix and Amazon and all these different things they can watch before turning on social media, where they've got all their different social media platforms and millions upon millions of YouTube videos. Each person only has 24 hours. Why would they spend it watching me? Well, it's my job to give them a reason to watch. And I told the kids there were 2 ways to do it, but the 2 ways I told them are really the second and third most important thing. The most important thing you can do to get people to watch your videos is give them a positive experience on the last video. If they enjoyed the last video you made, they're likely to watch the next one. If they didn't like the last one, nothing else is going to make them watch you again. So first thing is give a positive experience on every video. But the second thing is you need to use a title and a thumbnail to attract the viewer. Now I gave the example to the kids, and I actually had them raise their hands, and I said, if we were recording this classroom right now with me coming to talk to you, what would you title that video? And I took some of their suggestions. And no offense to the kids, but none of them gave me titles that would get a click. And then I gave them 2 examples, I guess 3. So I said one example of a video title that I could use is Some Guy Talks to Some Kids. That is an accurate description of what happened. But why would anyone choose to watch that when there seems to be more interesting things? The second video title is 15 minutes that will change your life, or however long the video is. People will click a video titled 15 minutes that'll change your life. The problem is, if they click the video and I'm not giving life-changing information, they're not going to be happy. They'll probably give it a thumbs down and not watch my next video and not watch all of that video. And so selling your video as more than it is not usually a good idea. So what would I title that video? What will I title this video? Well, I don't know yet, but the title I suggested in class is, what is it really like to be a YouTuber? Some version of that, probably the word really being in all caps, because you're giving the impression that watching the video is going to let you in on some kind of secret or private information that you don't already have, that you're peeling back the curtain. And that's what I'm trying to do. So to me, that's a good title. So now I've explained my process of making the video. The next thing I'm going to do is try to make a picture that makes you want to watch the video and a title that makes you want to watch the video. And I'm going to spend probably, after 3 hours of editing, at least an hour just working on titles and thumbnails. Every night, 7 nights a week, I sit for an hour and edit images, adjust the color, adjust the spacing of the items in the image, type the title a lot of different ways, try to keep it to 70 characters or less so it's not truncated by the platform, and make a title and a thumbnail for each platform. And then I send that to friends and ask them for critiques. So that's my process of creating the video. And then I go to bed hoping to wake up to a positive response to people liking that video. But let's say that we just created a good video and people are enjoying the video, so it's getting a lot of views. How do I get paid? Well, every time someone watches one of my videos, they see advertisements. The companies that are advertising pay for those advertisements. Roughly half of the money they pay goes to YouTube or Facebook. The other half of the money goes to me as the content creator. And that sounds like a pretty good deal. It really is fairly generous of the platforms. Although, if they weren't generous, I don't think people would work so hard on making good videos. But in general, for every 1,000 views that I receive on a video, I will make between $5 and $10. Now, if you're in middle school, $5 to $10 off of 1,000 views, that might sound pretty good. But if you really think about it, it's pretty hard to get 1,000 people to watch your video. And as a reward for getting 1,000 people to watch, I'll get enough money that I might be able to get a sandwich and a drink. It's not that as exciting as an adult who has bills to pay. So how do I make enough money to live when I only... Typically, my videos, even though my channel is 55,000 subscribers, I'll get somewhere between 2,000 and 5,000 views the first day of a new video, and usually the first day is the best day. So if I'm getting $5 per 1,000 views, and an average video is 3,000 views, then I got $15 to $30 to make that video, and it took me the entire day to make it. So how do I pay my bills? Well, the answer is to make a lot of videos that continue to get views over time. And I've been making videos for about 2.5 years, and I've made 950 videos. That's a lot of videos. And that's how I'm earning a living. It's not all of it, but it's a big part. The other ways you earn a living is through your own creativity. There are options, like I sell shirts and hats with my logo on them. Nobody buys my shirts and hats. That's okay. I'm not asking I don't want anyone watching my videos to feel pressured to buy stuff. I want you to be entertained, and I want to show you options of things that are available. I want you to know that this canopy is an option and what I like about it. But I don't want anyone pressured to buy anything, most of all my apparel. But that's an option. And some channels make a lot of money by selling shirts and hats and coffee cups and things like that. Another option is to get companies to pay you to talk about their products. And this is a tough spot as a content creator, because really the only thing I have with my regular audience is the credibility and connection of the fact they've watched me a lot of times and they feel like they have a trust in me. So if I accept a product that isn't any good, trying to say something nice about it would cause me physical pain. Like, every time I recommend a product, even if I like the product genuinely, I'm sacrificing a little bit of my credibility for this company. And you only have so much credibility. So it's very important that you only represent products that you genuinely like. Now, once you choose a product and you say, I really like this product, I love this Artelian stuff, these toolboxes, the bucket, all this, I think it's great. It's pretty expensive stuff, so I get it. If you're not going to buy it, that's okay. Not every product's for everyone. And I'm just letting you know that I like the product. Now, I'm sponsored by Artelian, and they don't pay me. But there are other situations where I could contact a company that makes a similar product and say, I'd like to demonstrate your product, but I want you to pay me $500. I've never been paid to make a video. In 950 videos, no one has ever given me money to make a video. But I do get a lot of free products. I did not pay for these attachments that are on this mower. I've got a lot of equipment here on the property that I didn't pay for, and I try to always tell people that. So you can make money by advertisements, by selling your merchandise, by getting paid to take products or endorse products, or by affiliate marketing. I do a lot of affiliate products, where I buy something or I'm given something. It can go either way. So I can go on Amazon, pick any product, buy it, show it in a video, put a link to it in the video, and if someone watches my video, clicks the link and buys the product, I'll get like 1 to 2% of the money. So if I've got a $100 product and I say, hey, check this thing out, I got this on Amazon, here's a link, and somebody buys one, I'll get like $2. It adds up to a couple $100 a month that I get for mentioning products in videos. And that's another way to earn money. Basically, to earn a living doing this, you've got to hustle and work. Or you have to be just uber talented and have the type of charisma that draws millions of views per video. And I don't have that type of charisma. So the solution to me is to work hard every day. Now I'm going to do something that I should not do. And I know for a fact I shouldn't do this because this is probably going to result in negativity and maybe some resentment. But I'm going to show you guys some of the money I make. And I think there'll be people who see numbers and think that that's too much money. Brock shouldn't be getting paid that just to sit around and talk. But I've kind of explained my process, and if you feel that way, I apologize, but there's nothing I can do about it. So I'm going to turn on a screen recording here and show you guys my YouTube analytics and some of the revenue I'm earning. So right now we're on my home page. This is showing my videos. This is showing how many views those videos have. Now this one here, I recorded what I wanted to say to the kids and showed it to 7 people apparently. I think I watched it 4 times myself. But today's video has 1,000 views. Hustler video, 4,000 views. We need to go back about a week so that revenue reporting is accurate. And let's look at this video here. What is the best way to mow with a tractor? So that video was viewed 7,000 times. That's really good for me. It's hard to get 7,000 people to watch your video. From that, I gained 9 subscribers and was paid $62. Now, I worked all day on that video. And mostly, the 7,000 views it has now will probably be a large percentage of the views it ever gets. It could continue to perform in search, but I just don't know. That video, I made $62. Let's go to that same time period, because revenue reporting is delayed, so showing you a brand new video won't be as helpful. I made this video titled Life is Hard, Be Kind. It has 7,000 views. $78. That's really good. That's a day's work. 20 subscribers. I'm happy with that. Okay. The worst piece of equipment I've ever owned. $59 for 11,000 views. Now this is a video that was a lot of work. It was work I needed to do anyway, but this video, I lost one subscriber and was paid $24 to work on my sawmill. So for that day, I worked all day and edited all night for $24. Then the other thing to keep in mind is that a lot of my videos, I spend money making the video. You know, I buy all my camera equipment, I pay for some editing software, I buy the computer. I just had to fix this computer, which was a $100 deductible. I buy most of this equipment, and so I'm investing a lot of money too. So now we've looked at some average videos. On an average day, I'm not making nearly enough money to live off that day's video. But if we filter by the most viewed videos, well, here's a short about unloading lumber. This one might be funny. I made $22 for 3 million views. Probably won't be retiring on that. Now this will be a good number. 1.1 million people watched this video. And it's a long form video with mid-roll ads. For 1 million views, I was paid $5,000, $5,300. And that's a lot of money. And I don't get a lot of those. That's actually my only million view video, but I've got some others with good view counts here. Here's one. I don't know how much I made from this. Probably by tomorrow or within the next hour, it'll have 800,000 views. And for 800,000 views, I was paid $2,000. So I'm earning enough money to live my life and not have another job. But I'm definitely not getting wealthy, and I work for it. I really debated how I wanted to talk about the revenue, if I should share the total amount of money I make. And nobody else in this kind of outdoors and working niche that I have ever seen has ever shown how much money they made in a year or any numbers like that. And I thought about doing it, and I'm not going to. For a few different reasons. And I hate to do that. I shared exactly what I made the first year, and I don't remember what it was, but I'll put a link at the end of the video that shows exactly what I made my first year. I showed the full details. But this year, I'm not going to do it, but I guess I'm going to give you a summary that what I've done my whole life is unskilled labor that required no degree or special training. I was turning wrenches, mass producing a product in a production environment. Those jobs are maybe average to above average pay, but not great. And this year I'm going to make about twice what I did turning wrenches. And the first year, the first several months, I literally worked for free. The first full year I worked for minimum wage. This year I'm making more than I made as a factory worker. And at this rate, I can envision a scenario where I'm very well paid. Will that happen? I don't know. Because it depends on the market staying like it is, the creator economy staying like it is, and me continuing to do new and interesting things that my viewers like to watch. And none of those things are guaranteed. And when I say I make twice as much as I've ever made, you also have to factor in that I have no benefits whatsoever. I don't have health insurance. I don't have life insurance. I don't have holiday pay or sick pay. If I get hurt out here working, I'm just out of luck. So, and the other thing is that being Brock from Rock Hill Farms requires me to have this nice property that's very expensive. It requires me to have equipment and to maintain a vehicle that can tow heavy loads. And there are a lot of costs that go along with doing what I do. And all of this stuff, like this canopy that was free, my free canopy, I email with the companies for hours, and type out the perfect response and search out contact points and contact them and negotiate a deal. And then when I receive it, I've got to do the work to set it up, and then I've got to do the work to make the video. And I cannot pay my house payment or my truck payment or my tractor payment or my electric bill or any of my other obligations by sending them a canopy. So free products are fine. Who doesn't like it? But mainly, I didn't want this canopy because it's a financial gain for me. I like it. I'm glad that I'll have some shade when I mow, but I wanted the canopy because I wanted to make a video about a canopy. And that's why I did it. So, what does all of this mean? It means if you work really hard and you build a real connection with an audience, you can be paid well for that. And that's kind of been true for the last 100 years. But it used to be that there were gatekeepers who would decide who got paid to entertain. And if you wanted to be that person, you had to be chosen by the gatekeepers. If you were going to be, Carol Burnett, there was only one. But there were a lot of funny girls around the country who didn't get to audition to be the next Carol Burnett. Or whoever it is that fits in your timeline of how old you are. For my category of stuff, there was one Bob Vila. And there were 10,000 guys around the country who were good at working on houses. Or carpentry or things like that. There was one This Old House. Now, anyone out there who knows their way around tools or woodworking can start their own version. And no one can tell you no. You don't have to know someone and have a cousin who knows the director at NBC. You just have to be good. And if you're good, you can win. And to me, that's why I wear a capitalism shirt. In a capitalist system, if you're good enough, you can win. And all I want isn't at bat. I just want my chance to win. And I feel like this type of content creation has given everyone a chance to win at this. And that's pretty cool. This is probably going to be a really long video, and I had no intention of doing that. But, this is what I do every day, and I get a lot of questions, and I wanted to answer them and just give you my thoughts on it. So I appreciate you taking time to watch this video. I'm going to put links on the screen to more of our videos, and I'll see you next time.